I met her in the middle of nowhere, where most things happen out here. She was just sitting by the side of a broken highway, the sun burning down like it was trying to melt the asphalt. She didn't flinch when I walked up, didn't even look scared, which was strange. Out here, fear keeps you alive. But she had this calm about her, like she'd seen it all already and wasn't too impressed. She was scavenging, same as me, looking for scraps of a world that didn't care about us anymore. I offered to trade, and we talked, and before I knew it, we weren't just surviving near each other. We were surviving together. It wasn't love, not at first. Love's a luxury the Wasteland doesn't allow. But we looked out for each other, and that turned into something close enough. Then one day, she told me she was pregnant. I didn't know what to feel, scared mostly. A kid out here? It felt cruel. But she smiled, like she wasn't scared at all, and told me, "It's not about what we're given, it's about what we make." When the boy came, he cried louder than anything I'd ever heard. I remember thinking it was the sound of life forcing itself into a place where it had no business being. She named him Sam, said it sounded strong. I didn't argue. For a while we were okay. We found a cabin, patched it up. It was nothing really, but to us, it felt like something. I taught her to shoot, and she taught me to laugh again. We watched Sam learn to walk, then to run. But the Wasteland doesn't give without taking. One morning, she didn't get up. Fever had set in overnight. I scavenged everything I could: rad meds, antibiotics, old world pills that had lost their labels. Nothing worked. She got weaker every day, and I could do nothing but watch. The night she died, she held my hand and whispered, "Take care of him. Teach him how to live, not just survive." And then she was gone. For years, it was just me and Sam. I taught him everything I knew: how to track, how to fight, how to find food in a place where there shouldn't be any. I thought I was teaching him how to live, but really, I was teaching him how to stay alive. Sam was different, though. He saw the world through eyes I didn't have anymore. Where I saw threats, he saw possibilities. Where I saw danger, he found beauty. He kept that spark his mother had, the one that made you think there was still something worth saving in this world. One day, we were scavenging near the ruins of a caravan. The place had been hit hard. Raiders, maybe mutants. Didn't matter. Bodies were scattered, their belongings picked clean. I was about to move on when Sam found something in the wreckage. A stuffed animal, half burned, but still holding together. "Can we take it?" he asked. "It's junk," I said. "Dead weight." But he wouldn't let it go. I saw his mother's stubbornness in his eyes, and for once, I didn't fight it. Later, we found them. A group of survivors holed up in an old diner. They were starving, sick, desperate. I told Sam to stay away, but he couldn't help himself. That night, I caught him sneaking food out of our pack. "What are you doing?" I hissed. "They have kids," he whispered back. "They need it more than we do." "You think they'll thank you? You think they'll share if it comes to it? Out here, you look out for yourself. That's how you survive." "But what's the point?" he asked, his voice cracking. "What's the point if we don't help each other?" I didn't have an answer. The next morning, the raiders came. The survivors didn't stand a chance, and Sam and I were caught in the middle. I wanted to run. I wanted to grab him and disappear into the shadows. But Sam looked at me, clutching that stuffed animal, and I knew I couldn't leave. The fight was bloody, brutal, but we made it through. When it was over, the survivors looked at us like we were heroes. I didn't feel like one. We stayed long enough to help them rebuild. Sam spent his days playing with the other kids, laughing like the world wasn't broken. Watching him, I started to see it too. That spark, that possibility. When we left, Sam handed the stuffed animal to one of the kids. "You need it more than I do," he said, smiling. I looked at him, and for the first time, I realized he was right. It wasn't about what we were given. It was about what we made. For the first time in my life, I knew how to live.